Good morning, Inspiring Illuminators. It is me, Jennifer Engel, CEO and founder of Inspire and Illuminate, which is me just doing these jaunts with Jen, which I haven't done for a long time, and this is actually take 2. I already recorded this message, but I think there's a little energy ghouls out there who don't really want me to get this out there because my microphone totally shut off. So when I went to go upload it and everything into my computer and YouTube, it was gone. But I am persistent. I do believe this was such an important message that I'm getting out. Luckily, I woke up early, so maybe there's a reason why I woke up early. And I'm recording it a second time. I will not let these little monsters of the mind get in the way. So, my message today is about the full moon. It's about cycles. And it's about what is coming up in the collective conscious right now. And kind of my belief around Halloween, and I'm going to butcher this, Deus es Morta, the Day of the Dead. So I wasn't actually going to record a jaunt with Jen this morning, but I do believe it's so important because I'm seeing the full moon bring up, put light on things that were hidden in the dark. You know, within some of the members of my family, within the community, within the nation, especially as elections draw near and things. I'm seeing a lot of fear being brought up to the surface. I'm seeing guilt being brought up to the surface. I'm seeing low self-esteem being brought up to the surface. I'm seeing anger being brought up to the surface. I haven't really seen jealousy, but it could be there. I'm seeing not necessarily lies per se, but I am seeing misperceptions or clear perceptions, but from only one point of view. And so I thought I would talk about, and the moon was inspiring in me, and Halloween was inspiring in me, this jaunt with Jen. So there are cycles within the month and within the year. And the other thing that was inspiring me is when I'm walking around the neighborhood, I see people decorate for Halloween. Some people decorate scary, skeletons, horror, spider webs, and other people are decorating kind of cute, happy little pumpkins and things like that. It is my belief, and again, I do not force anyone or expect anyone to believe as I believe, that we create our own reality through our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and our beliefs. And there is a belief in many cultures that about this time of year, the veil between the spirit side, or what I also like to call the vibrational, imaginative side of things, and the physical reality is the thinnest. And so, I think in the past, people have experienced ghosts and ghouls come up. In many cultures that were more tied with the earth and kind of went with the rhythms of the earth, you'll notice that this is a time where it starts getting dark really early, at least I'm in the United States. If you're on the other side of the world, the opposite might be happening. What we are meant to do during this time, and then every month the moon goes dark, is we are supposed to, and this is what Highest Possibility States is going to start teaching us how to do, open up our subconscious shed and look at everything that we put in there. Now we can do it on purpose, like changing a diet or deciding to exercise more. Or we can decide not to do it, and then we'll end up having a health problem that will force us to do it. And there are certain cycles, and I believe from October till like November-ish, about a month, a lot of stuff keeps being brought up, and that's where I believe Halloween comes from. We don't realize that we create our own monsters of the mind, if you will. Fear, guilt, low self-esteem, anger, jealousy, lies, misperception. And we shove them in our subconscious shed, and we shove them in like a junk drawer or a garage or whatever, fill in the blank, until stuff just can't fit in there anymore and we have to deal with it. And it comes spilling out. Or there are times of the year or month where the moon comes out, or the veil is the thinnest between the physical world and the spiritual, vibrational, imaginative world, and it shines light into that subconscious shed, and it makes us deal with it. So that's what I've been seeing come up around me. Now, what I also want to do is I want to bust something that I feel I have learned, especially like over the past 8 years. A lot of people think we have to go through this dark night of the soul, which I actually believe Halloween represents. That we have to sit and stew in the witch's brew of fear and guilt and low self-esteem and anger and fill in the blank. But what I've learned is, on one hand, that is true. We need to invite those monsters of the mind in. Now, where the concept of jack-o'-lanterns came in was carving something that looked like an evil spirit and shining light as almost like a gremlin or a goblin to protect the home from these monsters and goblins and haunting spirits. Many people believe, and I totally support if that is you, that these monsters, these shadows, these ghosts do exist outside of themselves. And in some aspects, I do believe that's true. I do believe that thoughts and emotions actually become real vibrational things, and they cannot exist unless they find a human host that has the same feelings that they can feed off of and become bigger. On the other hand, we create those inside of ourselves. So, on this All Hallows Eve, this Dios de Muerta, and again, I'm probably totally butchering that. What I like is I like taking it from an All Hallows Eve night where these negative monsters of the mind are coming to us. If we could kind of combine those two holidays together, and we can see them like ancestors, like family, like friends, like teachers who are in our lives to teach us something, and we invite them into our home to sit next to us. But rather than trying to scare them away, which I found only makes them worse, we invite them in and we flip the script with them. We say, thank you, fear, for you taught me, fill in the blank, that was just a misperception. You are now my ascended master of courage. Thank you, guilt. You taught me that maybe I was in a lower place and I can raise myself higher. I'm going to transform you into accepting who I am. Thank you, low self-esteem. You taught me that there is nothing to be insecure of, that I am a child of the light of the Most High. And as I believe that and take that into my body, then I grow my self-confidence. Thank you, low self-esteem, for helping me see how to grow self-confidence. You are now transformed into a master of self-confidence. Thank you, anger, for showing me I have boundaries that should not be broken. Or I set up boundaries that were too rigid or whatever. You show me that I can stand strong in my boundaries. I can express those boundaries to people. And I can be calm. Thank you for teaching me how to communicate. Thank you for teaching me how to work with others. Or excuse yourself from others when they don't respect my boundaries. I transform you from anger to compassion. Thank you, jealousy, for teaching me I have nothing to be jealous of, because the world is just reflecting back my own thoughts and desires. And if things come up in my world that cause jealousy in me, really what the world's trying to say is, you can have this soon. Just listen, and I'll show you how. Thank you for turning the monster of jealousy into the master of gratitude. Thank you, misperception and lies. You are teaching me how to communicate clearly, not through just text messages and emails, but in person. You are teaching me the value of showing up in person, so I can see people's facial expressions, so I can hear their side of the story. Thank you, misperception. I transform you from a monster of the mind into a master of clear perception. So what I'm going to challenge people to do, either tonight, tomorrow, whether you're one of these people who participate in sitting on your front door or in your living room or on your driveway, trying to figure out how to safely pass out candy to children, or whether you're one of those people who choose not to participate, close off the lights, pretend like you're not home, use that as a time to offer your monsters of the mind to the moon, to the light. Help you, let the moonlight transform it from a monster to a master who's willing to work with you. This concept was brought up in Harry Potter when the Bogarts, the monsters of the mind, would come out of the closet and the teacher taught them to say ridiculous. It came up in Rise of the Guardians, where the nightmares were coming. And the children said, it's not that I don't believe you don't exist. I am just not going to let you have power over me anymore. And when they touched the nightmare, it turned from a horrible monster into a beautiful dream. Let's take All Hallows Eve. Let's take the full moon light, and rather than taking a small problem like a wolf and making it bigger into a werewolf that will devour us, let us change it into Deus des Morta. Let us change it into the Day of the Dead. You know, the Native Americans, the Anishinaabe say, Hoka hey, it's a good day to die. Let us die to our anger. Let us die to our guilt. Let us die to our insecurity, our jealousy, our low self-esteem, our misperception. Okay, it's a good day to die. So either tonight, Friday, full moon, October 30th, or on All Hallows Eve, the 31st, offer to the light what you're struggling with and ask it, help me change this. Help me flip the script. I hope that this has helped someone today so that you can use your own courage, your own compassion, your own acceptance, your own self-confidence, your own clear perception. And it's okay if it's small, or if you fail and you need to practice, right? Getting into an exercise routine takes time. Changing a diet or anything takes time. Learning anything takes time. It doesn't matter how small or how great you've gotten at it, but just use your own gifts and talents to, yes, first help yourself and then help those around you. Because now, more than ever, the world desperately needs it, and it needs you. Peace and blessings.